The No Fate channel, checking in. On this episode of Dad's Gadgets, I'm going to be reviewing these neck gaiters from SA Company. I'm going to go over what they are, what they're used for, how you can wear them, how long it took for them to ship to me. The other companies that SA Company owns, you might not be aware of it, but they own quite a few. And I'm going to actually do a giveaway. So when this video hits 50 likes, I'm going to choose someone at random who commented below and just send them one of these unused, unopened neck gaiter. So obviously hit that like button and make sure you drop a comment. If this is your first time to the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. On this series, I simply review a piece of technology, a piece of equipment, something that comes across my desk that I find useful, I find interesting, to hopefully help you decide if it's right for you or if it's just junk, and hopefully help you decide if it is worth your hard-earned money. As I am shooting this video now, it is May 8th, and if you haven't had your head underneath a rock, you know that the Rona has been sweeping across the U.S., and we're finally on the verge of opening up. Some states have started to open up, and others are going to be opening up in a few weeks, and a lot of states, a lot of cities, and even a lot of just private businesses have mandated that you need to have face covering when you are out and about, and you cannot socially distance further than 6 feet apart. So on April 5th, that's right, April 5th, I knew that I was going to need some face coverings to go out in public, to shop, and do essential tasks. So I put an order in at SA Company, and I finally got them yesterday, May 7th. Believe it or not, it took that long. So I wanted to go over, because I think so many of you are going to be in the same boat, why I went with these face coverings, how they've worked, if they've worked, what my thoughts are about them. If you're not familiar, SA Company, if you go to the website, they look like a fishing company, predominantly focusing on clothing to protect you when you are out in nature, whether it's doing work around the house or you're out fishing and you need to have some of that sun protection. I do know that one of the biggest claim to fame on these neck gaiters is that they have like an SPF of 30, so if you wear them, you don't necessarily have to use sunscreen if you are good about wearing them. One of the things that I found out after realizing that these were not going to be shipping for over a month after my order was that they actually own quite a number of companies. They own Alpha Defense, which if you go to the website makes it look like they're pro-America, pro-military, which is always good, but they own a number of websites, and when you do some digging, you realize that they're all owned by the parent company that is stationed or operated out of Boca Raton, Florida. Even all their customer service, which because of the Rona has been shut down, is all the same. If you go to customer service between those different companies, you're getting the same chat formula, same chat people, and they even have the same routing numbers with regards to their ordering system. So let's just go over how it worked. I put my order in on April 5th. Within a day, I received an email saying that they were delayed because of Rona, unfortunately. And after 3.5 weeks, I got a notice that they were going to be shipping soon. And then a week ago, they finally shipped, but there was no tracking information. 2 days later, I got tracking information that they were shipped via DHL, which is the shipping company, which eventually ended up shipping us later than a day. That once I got the tracking information, it said it was going to show up on May 6th. And then, of course, they actually showed up on May 7th, a day later than they even promised, because that DHL hands it over to the Postal Service, at least in this area of New England. So I just want to caution people, if you are going to be putting an order in, do expect significant delays, especially if you might be on the other part of the country, because at least with me, Florida's on the East Coast. Now, another thing that I noticed when I got my package was I got this cute little notice. And you probably can't read it here. I'll put a photo of it right up here. And it said, due to the coronavirus, we couldn't actually fulfill your order. So if you go to the website and you actually buy a package of 5, and we're going to get into the price in a second. If you buy a package of 5, you can pick from, at least when I ordered it on April 5th, a whole slew of different selections. Same exact format, same exact style, but the facial selections ranged. They had like 30 to 50 selections. You could get Joker's faces. You could get like the Ace of Diamonds. You guys get it. I'm going to open these up in a second and show all the ones that I got. But I had a whole cool selection, and then they sent me a whole bunch of generic like green ones that don't even come close. I think I got 1 out of the 5 that I picked. So do keep in mind that if you do make a selection on that website, there's a good chance you're going to get this cute little card that says, sorry, not sorry, we didn't give you what we promised you. In terms of cost, their biggest claim to fame, and this goes across all of their companies. It's kind of funny. Once you actually know which companies they own, you realize that they use the same photos, the same models, the same cut and paste stuff on all of their marketing. So even though they're different companies, you can quickly tell that it's the same company, just split up with different nuances and niches in terms of trying to market to different people on social media. And I will tell you, after watching this video, you're probably going to see a ton of advertisements for these because that's the way Big Brother works. In terms of cost, they initially tell you that one costs $25, but if you buy one, you're going to get 4 for free. And they have a whole way around, one costs $100, but they're going to knock it down to 20. Then they're going to give you 4 for free, but they're only going to charge you $5 for shipping. Over the different sites that I've been to, they all are the same price. And I don't know if this is going to change when this coronavirus is passed and these aren't in high demand, but they're all the same price, 5 for $25. Now, sometimes they're 5 for $20 and you pay 5 for shipping, but you end up getting all of these for $25, which $5 individually, if you break it down, not that bad of a price. Overall, I mean, the price is pretty fair. So let's talk about the fabric. Obviously, it's a cylinder shape. It's a very light fabric that has a little bit of stretch laterally. So it's a little bit of stretch like side to side, but there's not much stretch top to bottom. And I will say, the camera can't pick it up, but the actual tops and bottoms are really not cut very evenly. So they're relatively even, but if you take a close look, you can tell that the tops are uneven in terms of how they were cut. Same with the bottom. And there's going to be potential after multiple uses. I don't know how long because I just got these, but after multiple usages and washes, there is going to be potential for threading, significant threading, because they're not there's no stitching at the top. Since there's no stitching of any sort at the top after multiple washes and usages, I do expect that these bottoms are going to get frayed quite severely. But again, you're paying $5 for them as a face mask. Now, the reason I wanted to get these for facial coverings versus, say, a dust mask or some of the masks that you can find out and about is that these are reusable. You use them once, you throw them in the wash, you get a package of 5. So, you use 1 or 2 a day, throw it in the wash, and you don't really necessarily have to worry about your face or dust mask, that your surgical mask, your N95 mask getting dirty, getting contaminated, and having to throw it out. Technically, it's supposed to be throwing it out every day. As I mentioned, out of the 5 specific neck gaiters that I ordered, I only got 2 of the actual designs that I wanted. I got this little American flag style design, and I got this, checkered design here. And I will say, in terms of expectations, in terms of how they actually look in person, they look a lot better on the marketing that they do on their website and on the social media apps, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. But that's probably to be expected, right? It always looks better in the marketing than when you actually get it in person. Let's talk about how these actually wear. So the main reason that most people would get these is as a neck gaiter to actually just cover their neck in terms of keeping the sun out. And of course, if you were going to be outside doing work that creates dust, you can just simply throw this over your face like so, and it's got some stretchiness to it so that, it's not going to just immediately come off your face. I will say that after using other neck gaiters that were at least as good quality, if not better quality than this, that the elasticity of these neck gaiters does tend to run out after an hour or 2. So if you're going to wear something like this where it's stretched and you're really counting on that elasticity to keep it in place, it's not going to last for a long, long time. In fact, you're probably going to get an hour, maybe 2, before you have to at least readjust it if you're going to be wearing it specifically like this. Overall, you've got a high level of convenience in this mode because you can simply pull it down, pull it up, super, super simple. Obviously, in terms of the Rona, in terms of keeping, your cough contained and keeping your hands away from your face, ideally you want to just kind of set it and forget it. You really don't want to be taking it down and then using your grimy hands that might already be dirty and you haven't washed to put it back on, as you can see. So when something like this, when you are going to be using this to go out in public, you really want to make sure that it's on really, really well the first time you set it, really set it tight. And I'm going to show you a method that I use to really set this thing tight. And that way, once it's set, you use it, you go into the stores, you do what you want, and when you come back to your car, you just simply take this thing off, and now you're going to throw this in the wash. You're not going to use it again. Personally, during the Rona, I have found this method, for me, works the best. It is doubled up in the front in terms of the cloth, but it is cinched up over the back of my head, and obviously you can hear that it makes it harder to talk. But if you're going out shopping, whether it's for food or for anything, you're going to be socially distancing yourself and talking at an absolute minimum anyway. And to be honest, if I had a face mask or a dust mask on that wasn't as tight, it's still going to be difficult to talk because you're going to have something in front of your face blocking your speech. Again, what I liked about that method is that it is tight, it is firm to the face, there's no give to it, and you are doubling up the cloth. So in terms of protecting yourself, or at the very least protecting anyone else in case you have the coronavirus and don't know it, it doubles up that layer of protection. Obviously, this is not going to protect you as well as a properly fitted N95 mask, but it is going to cost you a lot less, and it is easily washable in the washing machine. There's over a dozen ways to fashion these neck gaiters. I'm going to go through just a few of them, and I'm going to put the list of them up here. Obviously, the more you practice with them, the easier and quicker it's going to be, depending on the method that you plan on wearing these, whether it's like a headband, a do-rag, a neck gaiter, a face shield, etc. Overall, I am a bit on the fence with regards to these neck gaiters. The pros are that they're basically what I expected in the sense of they are going to make good facial coverings for my single-use purposes. I am going to be able to wash these time and time again, and when I'm not using them to go out and do my weekly food shopping, I will be able to use these in the yard to protect my pasty white skin when I'm cutting the grass or just out in the yard playing with the kids. It'll be nice not to have a crazy red neck when the sun does finally decide to show up. In terms of cost, $5 a piece is probably what you should be paying for the quality of fabric on here. In terms of the negatives, obviously there's no stitching at the top and the bottom, so I do expect after 3 months or even 4 months, these are going to eventually get pretty threadbare, especially at the ends, and I'm probably going to ending up using them as rags in the garage. Also, as a negative, is that they showed up over a month late. Even though there was the Rona, which I completely understand, that's still a little bit well past my expectations on something that I'm purposely buying as a facial shield. Another negative was that I specifically picked out designs that I wanted and they didn't show up. Okay, that's obviously an inventory issue on their part, but that shouldn't have anything to do with the Rona. That should have everything to do with the fact that their inventorying isn't that good. And the last thing that I think is a bit shady is the fact that they have multiple companies that look completely different, but in fact are selling the same exact thing. They're all stationed in the same location down in Florida, and that's a little bit on the shady side, which I would rather see a company be a bit more above board. Overall, if you're looking for facial coverings or if you're looking for something to block out that sun, this does have SPF 30 as I mentioned, then these aren't a bad fix. Keep in mind if you're seeing this video and it's anywhere near May or even June, you probably should expect significant delays with them actually showing up, and the selection and color coding of the designs are going to be very, very limited. I will say I picked out some really fun ones that I was excited to wear and didn't get any of them, so there's that. Hopefully you found this video informative. Obviously, if this video hits 50 likes, I'm going to be giving away one of these that has not been opened yet. I saved it over there just to ship it out to you, so give this video a like and drop a comment. Let me know in the comments below as well what you're using to cover your face when you do have to go out and can't socially distance yourself, especially at stores or businesses that do require you to have a facial covering before you can enter. Drop it in the comments below. Now, if you've come this far in the video, I want to say thank you for watching, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back. I am dedicated to helping you be a great parent to your children and still accomplish your own personal goals. I provide ideas and insights to help you save time, money, and your sanity. 3 things that are in short supply for every parent out there.